My beloved child, prepare your heart, because a great and unexpected provision is being prepared to enter your life in a way you have never dared to imagine. I, Archangel Michael, have not come to make you impatient or cause you to chase dazzling promises, but to remind you that the days of scarcity do not have the authority to determine your entire future. Certain things have been forming quietly for a long time through opportunities you have not yet seen, connections being arranged, and abilities gradually awakening within you. This provision may appear through a lawful financial payment, a new job, a recognized project, a benefit that was once delayed, or a source of income you had never previously considered. Whatever form it takes, receive it with awareness, because a great gift always carries great responsibility. I saw the nights when you remained awake, calculating every expense and wondering how you could continue if another need appeared the following day. You had to postpone necessary things, surrender legitimate desires, and appear calm so that your loved ones would not recognize how deeply you were worried. At times, you prayed in a very quiet voice because you were too exhausted to say anything except ask for help. I heard even those silences. Not one time you tried to preserve faith under pressure was meaningless. Not one tear fell without being understood. The years when you learned how to survive with very little gave you a sensitivity many people acquire only after losing a great deal. Now, what you learned through scarcity will become the foundation from which you manage abundance. Do not allow the joy of financial change to remove your discernment. When a significant amount of money appears, your first response should not be to announce it to everyone. Spend in order to compensate for years of lack, or prove that your life has finally changed. Pause, breathe, and examine the whole picture. What must be addressed first? Which debts need to be resolved? Which needs are truly urgent? How much should be preserved to protect the months ahead? Provision does not arrive only to give you relief for a moment. If you place each portion into its proper purpose, it can become the seed of lasting stability. Let gratitude lead you into order rather than allowing emotion to pull you toward decisions that will require years of labor to correct. The first signs may appear very ordinary. A call from someone who once recognized your abilities may open an opportunity for partnership. Former work may unexpectedly produce a payment, benefit, or recommendation you did not anticipate. An idea you had forgotten may return with a clearer way of being carried out. You may recognize a resource that was always around you, but remained hidden beneath exhaustion and fear. Do not despise small beginnings. Abundance does not always enter with great noise. Often, it comes as a partially opened door, requiring enough awareness to recognize it and enough discipline to walk through it. I will not perform the part that belongs to you. You must still answer the call. Prepare the documents. Complete your responsibilities. Develop the skill, and prove your reliability through very practical actions. I also want to protect you from offers dressed in the appearance of miracles, but carrying deception within. When you are longing for a financial turning point, you may easily believe people who promise rapid profit, demand that you transfer money immediately, or claim that hesitation will make you lose your only opportunity. My beloved child, genuine provision does not need fear in order to control you. Examine the documents. Investigate the source. Seek advice from qualified people. And never sign anything you do not clearly understand. Faith never requires you to abandon careful judgment. I give you discernment to protect what is good. Not so that you will place everything into another person's hands merely because they know how to speak words that excite you. A good door may require courage, but it will not force you to betray upright principles. When resources begin flowing into your life, many people may approach you with needs and expectations. Some may genuinely require help, while others may view your kindness as an opportunity to place their responsibilities upon your shoulders. I am not teaching you to become closed or without compassion. I want you to be generous through wisdom. You can support someone without carrying their entire life. You can give without returning yourself to a state of exhaustion. You can say no to an unreasonable request while preserving kindness. If you attempt to rescue everyone because you fear disappointing them, what has been given to you will quickly become scattered and lose its ability to build the future. Remember that good stewardship is also an expression of love, because it gives you the ability to continue helping for years rather than only for one moment. This unexpected money is not merely a change in numbers. It may become an opportunity to escape a cycle that has kept your family living under continual fear of lack. Yet to truly change that cycle, you must build more than assets. Build healthy habits, knowledge, and a wise understanding of money. Do not spend in order to heal feelings of inferiority. Do not purchase approval through gifts beyond your means. Do not hold everything in fear that it may disappear tomorrow. Learn to balance saving, investing, enjoying, and giving. When resources are placed beneath the guidance of purpose, they can become the foundation of a safe home, useful work, better education, and opportunities that allow the next generation to begin somewhere beyond nothing. I know there were times when you felt you were asking for too much by praying for release from financial pressure. You felt guilty for desiring an easier life, while many others were also struggling. But longing to possess enough to care for yourself and those you love is not shameful. Abundance is not wrong when it is used with gratitude and responsibility. The danger does not lie in possessing much, but in allowing what you possess to control your heart. Therefore, when money arrives, do not treat it as your new identity. Your worth has never depended upon the balance within an account. You were precious even during the days when you had nothing to display. And you must preserve humility when greater doors open. You may not yet see exactly how this will unfold, but do not underestimate today's preparation. Organize your documents. Review your plans. Complete unfinished work, and create space to receive new opportunities. Become the kind of person who knows exactly what to do when resources arrive. If you receive a significant amount, do not make every decision on the first day. Preserve enough silence for your emotions to settle. Seek advice from someone trustworthy without surrendering complete authority to them. Write down your goals and examine whether each decision moves you closer to freedom or merely creates another form of bondage. You do not need to prove your maturity by doing everything alone. A wise person knows when to seek the right support. Therefore, my beloved child, receive these words with calm hope rather than haste. I, Archangel Michael, remind you that provision may come through roads you never considered. But the way you respond will determine whether it becomes a passing rainfall or a lasting river. Open your heart to what is good while keeping your eyes clear. Believe that your life can change and remain willing to work. Learn and manage what is entrusted to you. The anxious nights are not your ending. The days when you counted every expense are not the permanent name of your future. You are being led from scarcity into a deeper understanding of resources, responsibility, and freedom. When the door opens, walk through with gratitude, humility, and hands prepared to transform what you receive into peace, healing, and a meaningful inheritance for many people. What is about to enter your life will not erase the former years, but it will help you understand why you had to pass through them and transform those wounds into ground for healing. I do not deny what you endured, nor do I tell you to pretend that it never happened. Certain memories left very deep marks. Some disappointments caused you to lose trust in yourself, and some closed doors made you believe there was no other path. Yet, my beloved child, the past is not a sentence requiring you to live forever within old limitations. When this transformation is complete, you will be able to look back with different eyes. You will no longer see only loss, but recognize what was protected. You will no longer remember only rejection, but understand that I prevented you from entering what was unsuitable. You will no longer view waiting as wasted time, but recognize that every season taught you the patience, discernment, and self-respect required for the journey ahead. The transition approaching will not suddenly throw you into an unfamiliar life and cause you to lose direction. It will blend into your life naturally, gently, like morning light gradually filling a room, while remaining so wondrous that you will know it was not created by your strength alone. An ordinary conversation may open a new opportunity. One small decision may lead you toward a path you had never considered. A person appearing at the proper moment may help you recognize worth you once forgot. The first changes may not be loud, but each detail will connect through a profound order. You will realize that you do not need to compete, force, or chase in order to keep what is coming. What has been prepared for you will enter with steadiness, refusing to keep you in a state of continual guessing or fear that it may disappear at any time. You will recognize that it is genuine because it brings a deep sense of rightness into your heart. This peace does not mean you will have no questions, but the questions will not possess enough power to return you to chaos. Former fear may still whisper that good things never last, or that you should not hope too deeply in order to avoid another disappointment. Yet beneath those voices, a new steadiness will tell you that this time something is different. Genuine confirmation does not keep you awake through anxiety, force you to surrender dignity, or require you to betray your values. It helps you breathe more deeply, think more clearly, and move forward without continually asking another person for permission to trust what I am doing. Before outward blessings become completely visible, I am beginning the work within you. You will notice that thoughts which once felt heavy are gradually becoming gentler. Situations that previously caused panic will no longer consume all your strength. You will begin understanding that a delay does not mean everything has ended. Rejection cannot define your worth, and someone leaving does not mean you are unworthy of love. This new perspective is inseparable from what is approaching. I am not merely changing circumstances, I am renewing the way you receive and interpret them. If your outward life expands while your mind remains imprisoned within old limitations, you will be unable to enjoy what has been given. As clarity grows, you will begin recognizing opportunities in places where you once saw only obstacles. A path you regarded as too difficult may become possible when you approach it with patience rather than panic. An ability you once underestimated within yourself will awaken and develop. You will no longer wait until everything becomes perfect before beginning, but will learn to use what you currently possess and move forward through steady steps. I will place before you choices that require maturity, but they will not come to exhaust you. They will help you recognize that you are no longer the person fear could easily keep still. You have traveled farther than you realize, and now your eyes are being opened to see what has already been placed upon your path. Do not attempt to accelerate the transformation through impatience. There are moments when you sense something good drawing near and immediately want to know the entire answer. See the outcome and control the way everything will be completed. Yet, what is forced before its time often carries unnecessary weariness. You do not need to pull the door open through your own strength when I hold the key and know precisely when you should enter. Your role is to remain open without becoming reckless. Continue acting within your ability and refuse to let fear drive you. Care for what has been entrusted today. Complete remaining responsibilities and keep your life in order. Genuine readiness is not rushing ahead. It is standing in the proper place with a calm heart. Remain rooted in faith while the details are still unclear. There will be days when you feel very close to the answer, followed by circumstances becoming so quiet that you question whether you imagined everything. Do not allow those silences to make you doubt the entire journey. A tree does not stop growing merely because you cannot see its roots beneath the soil. Many of the most important things are being formed where your eyes cannot reach. Let silence deepen your trust instead of becoming a place where fear multiplies. You do not need continually to search for signs proving that I am still working. The growing peace within you, your ability to remain steady in chaos, and hope returning after seasons of exhaustion are already evidence that the work is moving forward. When you receive what is new, welcome it with gratitude and humility. Do not let joy become the need to prove something to those who doubted you. You do not need to return to the past and show anyone they were wrong. If you live merely to make others regret their judgment, you are still allowing them to control your future. Walk gently and remember the days when you had to trust without possessing anything in your hands. Remember the times when one kind word, one timely hand, or one small opportunity strengthened you. Those memories will keep your heart tender when life begins to widen. What I give is not intended to place you above others. It helps you become steadier, freer, and more capable of encouraging those who are now enduring what you once endured. Humility will help the blessing take root instead of passing like one beautiful moment. When you care for what has been entrusted through wisdom, it will continue developing and producing results beyond what you can currently see. One opportunity may lead to stability. Stability may give you breathing room. That breathing room may give you strength to build, help, and choose without being controlled by the pressure of scarcity. Yet you must allow the process to unfold layer by layer, refusing to consume everything merely to satisfy immediate emotion. Ask what needs to be preserved, what needs to be planted, what should be shared, and what must remain in quietness until the proper season. You will also notice your mind beginning to respond differently to situations that once created tension. Where you once saw an ending, you may now recognize a redirection. Where you felt abandoned, you will begin understanding that certain distances protected you from deeper pain. Where you saw only scarcity, you will learn to recognize small resources already present and use them creatively. This new light does not deny difficulty, but it keeps difficulty from covering your entire vision. Fear once told you that you possessed no choices, while clarity now shows that there is always another step, regardless of how small it may be. The confidence growing within you will not be loud or arrogant. It will be the calmness of someone who knows they do not need every answer in order to continue. You will depend less upon recognition. Refuse to change your decisions merely because someone disagrees. And stop diminishing your dreams to keep others comfortable. You will still listen to counsel, but will no longer allow every voice to enter the deepest places within you. You will understand when to wait, when to speak, and when to leave without carrying guilt. This is a sign that the blessing has already begun working within you. It creates order before expansion and inner freedom before outward circumstances change. My beloved child, do not underestimate the quiet transition taking place. Perhaps today you cannot name everything that is approaching, but you can already feel that you no longer stand where you once did. The things that bound your thinking are becoming weaker. Walls within your heart are being dismantled, and peace is reclaiming the places anxiety once filled with confusion. I do not promise that you will never face trials again, but I am leading you into a new way of living in which trials no longer determine who you are. Keep your heart open. Walk in humility and allow everything to develop according to my wise rhythm. When the blessing becomes fully visible around you, you will recognize that it began long ago within the way you think. Hope and trust. The past will no longer be your prison. It will become evidence that you were led through pain into understanding, peace, and a wider future. I am not only healing the marks of the past within you, but also strengthening you for responsibilities requiring greater courage, awareness, and faithfulness. What you experienced was not only so that you could be comforted after pain, but also so that you would learn how to stand in the proper position when new responsibilities are placed within your hands. I am strengthening your ability to see clearly without rushing, act powerfully without becoming rigid, and preserve peace even when surrounding circumstances are not completely settled. You will not enter the next season through strength created by forcing yourself beyond your limits, but through steadiness born from knowing that you are loved, chosen, and not required to find your way alone in the darkness. When you stop proving your worth through exhaustion, you will begin standing taller naturally because your inner foundation no longer depends upon praise, achievement, or the approval of others. I know there were days when you believed that if you tried harder, everything would become clearer more quickly. You worked continually, thought continually, and placed upon yourself the pressure of finding every answer. Yet clarity does not always come when you attempt to control more. Sometimes it appears when you become calm enough to stop and listen. I am teaching you to rest in the truth that you have not been abandoned within this journey. This rest is not neglecting responsibility. It is releasing the burden of making everything happen by yourself. When you stop struggling beneath the fear of taking the wrong road, the fog obscuring your vision will gradually disappear. You will recognize that the path ahead is not as chaotic as you once believed. It has been marked by upright choices, purposeful steps, and a confidence that does not need to become loud in order to prove itself. From now on, the words of others will no longer determine so easily the way you see yourself. In the past, one careless remark could make you question your ability. worth, or direction for many days. At times, you absorbed another person's pessimism as though it were truth, even though deep within, you knew they had never seen the whole journey you traveled. But I am placing a firm anchor within your heart so that you will no longer be carried away by every changing opinion. You will learn to receive advice without surrendering to anyone the authority to define you. When someone speaks discouraging words, you will not immediately react or attempt to prove them wrong. You will calmly examine what is worth receiving, release what does not belong to you, and continue moving without allowing their lack of understanding to become the limit of your future. When trials appear, you will no longer approach them as someone continually expecting the worst. You once responded from old memories, interpreting one small obstacle as evidence that everything was about to collapse. Now, I am teaching you to face difficulty with calm assurance. You will understand that challenges do not necessarily mean you are on the wrong path. Certain obstacles appear to reveal strength you never knew you possessed, or help you adjust the way you move more wisely. You will no longer run away at the first feeling of uneasiness, nor rush forward merely to prove your strength. You will learn to pause, observe, pray, and choose what is right. The new courage within you will not look reckless. It will resemble a protected flame, burning steadily and refusing to be extinguished by opposing winds. As you continue walking with me, you will recognize that the change within you does not occur through great noise. You may not identify one clear moment when everything suddenly became different, but you will notice that you no longer respond as you once did. Judgment within you will soften because you understand that every person carries stories that remain untold. Your patience will extend farther, not because you tolerate everything, but because you know how to preserve boundaries without nourishing bitterness. Your words will no longer be born from the need to defend yourself or win. Instead, you will learn to speak truth gently, correct without humiliating, and protect what is right without diminishing others. The people near you will sense this transformation before you are even able to name it. The effect of this maturity will spread into every relationship you touch. When someone approaches you in anger, you will no longer allow their anger to control your voice. When you are misunderstood, you will not immediately build a wall or leave before attempting to bring clarity. When a conversation becomes difficult, you will remain present rather than reacting according to former habits. This does not mean you must endure disrespect or remain silent before wrongdoing. I am teaching you a strength that knows how to speak without causing unnecessary harm, leave without cursing, and forgive while preserving necessary limits. The healing within you will not merely make you feel better. It will change the way you enter a room, listen to others, and carry peace into places that were once filled with tension. There was a season when you were frequently misunderstood. Others looked at your reactions without knowing what had taken place before, heard one part of the story, and quickly judged your intentions. Some hurt you not because they understood you too well, but because they never took enough time to look beyond the surface. You wanted to explain everything and make them see your sincere heart. But the more you tried, the more exhausted you became. I used those experiences to teach you deeper empathy, because you know what it feels like to be misjudged. You will become more careful before reaching conclusions about others, because careless words wounded you. You will learn to consider the words you are about to speak. Those days did not make you weak. They helped you understand the weight of kindness and the value of listening before judging. I did not allow bitterness to possess you. even though you had many reasons to close your heart. Each time you remembered what others had done. Part of you wanted to hold anger as a form of protection. Yet I gently showed you that resentment does not protect you. It keeps you bound to what has already passed. Mercy does not mean denying pain or calling wrongdoing right. It means refusing to allow another person's actions to determine who you will become. You may acknowledge the truth, learn the lesson, establish distance, and still refuse to let your heart become cold. This is the deep freedom I am giving you, the ability to remember without being controlled and speak about the past without allowing it to make your voice bitter. I, Michael, I am teaching you to respond with grace, not because it is always easy, but because it is the path of spiritual maturity. There will be moments when you must choose silence instead of speaking a word capable of causing lasting harm. There will also be moments when you need to speak clearly, but with the purpose of building rather than taking revenge. Gentleness does not make you less powerful. On the contrary, it requires great strength to preserve a clean heart when you have many reasons to become severe. When you refuse to let pain speak through you, you reclaim authority over your own responses. When you choose mercy while protecting boundaries, you demonstrate that the past no longer rules the present. One day, you will look back and realize that the very moments which threatened to harden your heart became the places where compassion was born. Wounds will no longer merely remind you of what was lost, but help you recognize when another person is hurting, even if they have said nothing. You will become someone capable of entering a tense situation without making it more chaotic. Someone who brings clarity without controlling, and someone whose words are gentle enough to lift a person from despair. This is part of the responsibility for which I am preparing you. You are not being healed only for yourself. You are being transformed so that your presence becomes a place where others find safety, hope, and courage. Therefore, do not fear the changes taking place within you. You do not lose strength by becoming gentler, nor become weak by choosing mercy instead of revenge. You are entering a deeper kind of strength in which your identity is not shaken by judgment. Emotion no longer controls every decision, and pain no longer determines how you treat the world. I am strengthening you so that you may stand in greater positions while preserving humility, carry heavier responsibility without losing peace, and possess a stronger voice while continuing to use it for healing. My beloved child, continue walking. The transformation may be unfolding quietly, but its fruit will become clearly visible in the way you love, choose, and stand firmly through every season ahead.